तो इन लोगों को सोचना चाहिए यार ये लोग किन्नर है तो हम लोगों को इन लोगों का मजाक नहीं उड़ाना चाहिए, इस तरह से रिएक्ट इन लोगों के साथ नहीं करना चाहिए।
दोस्त बन के रह लो लेकिन शादी लड़के से करो।
सेल्फ एक्सेप्टेंस बहुत जरूरी है कि मैं क्या हूँ कैसा हूँ ये मुझे पता होना चाहिए।
आज नहीं तो कल वो चीज बदलेगी, क्योंकि मैं उस गलत तरीके से या उस चीज से नहीं, मैं अपना नाम बना के वो चीज अपनी रिस्पेक्ट पाना चाहूंगी।
So when you're lying about one identity of yours already, and then you're like also questioning your queer identity.
Constitution requires recognition of same-sex marriage, or what I call marriage equality.
Five years ago, in a historic verdict, the Supreme Court of India overturned Section 377, which criminalized same-sex relationships between consenting adults in India. This community, the LGBTQ+, which was once a taboo for a large portion of Indian society, even amongst the youth, is now a celebration.
Historic and momentous day when the Supreme Court declared that gay sex was not illegal.
Images of a landmark day, a historic verdict by the Supreme Court finally decriminalizing Section 377.
It's been a big victory for the LGBTQ community after the Supreme Court decriminalizes gay sex in India.
As a community, as an individual who identifies outside the gender and sexuality binary.
We had a fear in our heart that whether what judgment will be. But we are very happy to say that we are not criminals now.
It is a long fight, but finally we have achieved a goal and we have won this whole thing. And thank you Supreme Court, thank you Constitution Bench.
We used to think of two females, two women, as merely friends. But times have changed. And now when I talk about Payal and Yashvika, we may also think of them as partners, a couple. Here is their story.
मैंने बोला मैं ऐसे बाहर नहीं जा सकती बिकॉज शी इज माई हस्बैंड। मैडम हस्बैंड वाइफ में तो लड़की और लड़का ही होते हैं। मैंने बोला नहीं, हम दोनों लड़कियां हैं लेकिन हस्बैंड वाइफ हैं।
बेसिकली जब मुझे पता चला कि मेरा जो इंटरेस्ट है वो लड़कियों में है, तो मैं उस टाइम पे 8th क्लास में थी और मुझे लड़कों से ज्यादा मतलब लड़कियां ज्यादा पसंद आने लगी थी। फीमेल की तरफ मेरा जो अट्रैक्शन था वो ज्यादा था उस टाइम पे।
तो मैंने मेल को कभी एज अ पार्टनर नहीं देखा। तो अगर मैं बात करूँ तो 2012 में मुझे ये चीज लगी कि नहीं, मेरा इंटरेस्ट लड़कियों में है और मुझे लड़की के साथ ही रहना है।
तू है तो मुझे फिर और क्या चाहिए, तू है तो मुझे फिर और क्या चाहिए, किसी की ना मदद ना दुआ चाहिए, तू है तो मुझे फिर और क्या चाहिए।
हम लोग 5 साल पहले टिकटॉक पे मिले थे। मैंने इनका एक रील आया, मैं रील्स देखती थी उस टाइम पे, तो इनका रील आया सामने, तो मुझे एक्सप्रेशन बहुत अच्छे लगे। तो मैंने वहीं से इंस्टा पे एक मैसेज ड्रॉप कर दिया कि मुझे आपसे बात करनी है।
फिर धीरे धीरे करके बहुत ज्यादा बातें होने लगी। फिर हम लोग मिले, हरिद्वार में फर्स्ट टाइम हम लोग मिले थे। फिर उसके बाद हमारे बीच पहले कोई कमिटमेंट नहीं थी, पहले ऐसे ही था कि हम लोग देखते हैं कि कैसा मतलब हम लोग साथ में रह सकते हैं कि नहीं।
जब हमने डिसाइड किया दोनों ने कि हम अपनी फैमिलीज में बताएंगे, तो बहुत सारी चीजें मेरी मदद के साइड से सामने आई। कि मतलब तुम ये चीजें क्या बोल रही हो, या तुम्हारा ब्रेन वॉश हुआ है, या ये सारी चीजें। तो स्टार्टिंग में बहुत मुश्किल था उनको इस चीज के लिए समझाना, उनको चीजें प्रॉपर कन्वे करना, क्योंकि वो उनकी नजरों में दो लड़कियों का होना सिर्फ दोस्त, क्योंकि उन्होंने हमेशा वही देखा है, वो उसी सोसाइटी में रही है, उनका माइंड वही सेट था कि शादी हमेशा लड़का और लड़की की होती है, दो लड़कियों के बीच में सिर्फ दोस्ती हो सकती है। तो मुझे 4 महीने लगे उनको ये चीजें समझाने में, पूरा बताने में कि ऐसा है ऐसा है। उसके बाद जाके चीजें थोड़ी थोड़ी ठीक होनी शुरू हुई। फिर भी बीच बीच में मेरी मम्मी का ऐसा आता था कि अरे ठीक है ना, तुमको पायल के साथ रहना है, तुम रह लो, दोस्त बन के रह लो, लेकिन शादी लड़के से करो। एंड फाइनली उसके बाद उन्होंने उस चीज के लिए एक्सेप्टेंस दी, उन्होंने समझा कि हाँ यहाँ ये प्यार है। LGBTQ कपल की शादी थी, तो नॉर्मली कोई वेन्यू नहीं मिल रहा था हमें, हमने काफी सारे सिटीज में ट्राई किया, तो फाइनली हमने अपनी वेडिंग को डेस्टिनेशन बनाया और हमने डेस्टिनेशन वेडिंग की लोनावला में, तो वहां का हमको इजीली वेन्यू प्रोवाइड हुआ।
एक ऐसी शादी की थी कि लोग देखें कि एक लेस्बियन कपल होके भी ऐसी शादी कर सकते हैं, तो वो एक तरह से जो हमारी जो यूथ है, मतलब LGBT कम्युनिटी की जो यूथ है पूरी, उसको इंस्पायर करना था कि आप नॉर्मली शादी करो ना यार, आप क्यों दुनिया से खुद को अलग समझते हो, आप कर सकते हो, आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो, आप कोई अलग नहीं हो, या फिर आप इस दुनिया के कोई अलग प्राणी नहीं हो, आप भी इन्हीं लोगों के जैसे हो और आप जो चाहे वो कर सकते हो।
ओम यजुर्वेदाय नमः, ओम सामवेदाय नमः, ओम अथर्ववेदाय नमः। अभी पूरा छोड़ दीजिए लास्ट वाला। ओम बम बौराय नमः।
जहाँ पे भी तू है वहाँ पे सुकून है, अब तो वही हम हैं।
That the Constitution requires recognition of same-sex marriage, or what I call marriage equality. If two people love each other, there is no reason why they cannot get married to each other, the way if two straight people love each other and get married to each other. This is not about religion, this is not about caste or class, this is just about two people wanting to get married and having society recognize it so that they can get the same advantages that any straight married couple has.
Disowned by a royal family, forced to endure years of conversion therapy, faced death threats, but still proudly holding on the title of the first openly gay prince in the world. India's Prince of Rajpipla, Manvendra Singh Gohil, shares his strength of love with us.
Though I was attracted towards the same sex at childhood, but I did not know my identity, I did not know my sexuality till I became 30, and it's that time I came to know that I am gay and I am homosexual, and that is my identity. It was very difficult, very challenging to come out openly as gay, and especially with the family, because we are always in the public life. We are considered as role models. We are considered as icons in our geographical areas. People of Rajpipla were furious. They were never expecting that I will take this kind of a stand, because I came out openly as gay, and they thought I brought shame and humiliation to the family and to the culture, Indian culture, and to all the royal families. So coincidentally, the day I came out was the festival of Holi. And they took my images from newspapers and they made effigies and they threw it in the fire, saying that he is the evil person, he should be burnt, he should be outcasted, he should be stripped of his title, he should be excommunicated, not be invited to any events, because he has brought bad name and bad reputation to the Indian culture. My coming out to my parents happened through a nervous breakdown. After I opened up to my parents, the marriage pressure of course was there, but more than that they thought it was a disease and they thought it was a mental disorder and they wanted to cure me. So they took me to psychiatrists, doctors. They even thought of taking me to America, and where they were planning to perform a brain surgery on me, and they also thought about giving electroshock therapy, but that did not work. For almost 3 years, they took me to different parts of India, Baba, Sadhu, Sannyasis, saints, all over the country. I was taken to them. This is not a disease, this is not a disorder, so you cannot cure anyone just because taking them to Baba or Sadhu, or it is not going to help. Since the time I have openly come out as gay, I think a lot of changes have happened in the society. A lot of people have started talking about this subject, which was not spoken previously. The fact that sex itself is a taboo in this country. It's not spoken about openly, and it's always considered to be something evil, something bad. So sexuality and homosexuality, these issues were never spoken about openly. So when my coming out actually started a lot of talks, discussions, debates on this issue which is existing in our culture and yet not spoken about. So that discussion has brought about a lot of change in the mindset of the society, and now people have started understanding us and they are starting to accept us.
To be able to sort of be fully entrenched into the fabric of society. I think that the community can't just be looked at people that are just coming alive in June Pride Month, or people that we will use for tokenism, or we will use to basically put a rainbow flag on and just sort of forget about the rest of the year. I think the community needs to feel loved and feel accepted in every aspect of what makes a society and what makes a nation. And I think that's where we're at. I think I'm hoping that changes as the months come along.
The individual in the story does not like to be referred to as he or she, prefers to be referred as them or their, and is still fighting to figure out their identity.
My pronouns are they and them. My gender identity is gender fluid, and I'm a queer person. A queer is generally an umbrella, so everything that you hear, LGBTQ plus and plus identities, in that Q is queer. It's an umbrella term used for everybody. So if you're still questioning who you are, you can just say that you're queer. इनकलाब एक सपना नहीं, हकीकत में तब्दील होना बाकी है. इनकलाब एक सपना नहीं, हकीकत में तब्दील होना बाकी है. इस रफ्तार से मायूस ना होइए जनाब. अब इस खून में जीने की चाह बाकी है. हाँ, अभी इनकलाब बाकी है. So gender identity and sexuality are two very different things. Gender identity is basically who you are on the inside and what you feel on the inside, whereas sexuality is more external, as in who am I attracted to. So if I say I'm a non-binary person, I say that I feel no gender, I am gender non-conforming, but I also say that I am queer or pansexual or bisexual. That would mean that, oh, I feel attraction towards two or more genders. The first time I realized that I'm bi was when my partner had brought it up that he's bi. And I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I could be. And then I shoved it way down. And I was like, theek hai, abhi jo bhi hai, dekha jayega. Then eventually, when you go to college, of course, like you get to know about certain things. And a few of my friends were queer. And they were a lesbian couple and one of them was bisexual. And I was like, okay, you know what, maybe I need to explore this a little bit more. So that's what I did. I went out on a couple of dates and I realized that I am indeed attracted to two or more genders. So of course, I am into women as well. And yeah, that's how it all began. I came back home sat everybody down. With my mom, it was like very simple. I made her watch एक लड़की को देखा तो ऐसा लगा ना. This is my standard thing for everything. If I wanted to normalize something, I make my mom watch something. And then slowly and gradually, I was like, okay, you know what? I am also like bi. So my mom was like, okay, I don't know what that means. Give me a little time. I'll come back to you. I said, okay, cool. With my immediate family, it was super easy though. I mean, I went and then I was like, sit down. I need to tell you something. And they were like, okay, क्या बताना है? I said, देखो ऐसा है कि I am bisexual. उनको समझा नहीं, of course. तो I was like, देखो मेरे को लड़कियां भी अच्छी लगती है, लड़के भी अच्छे लगते हैं. तो उन्होंने बोला हाँ तो. मैंने बोला हाँ तो कैसा रिएक्शन होता है? शायद आपको समझना नहीं है ये. ठीक है, शायद आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है तो मैं लड़की से भी शादी कर सकती हूँ, लड़के से भी शादी कर सकती हूँ. They were like, हाँ तो अगर तू किसी लड़की से शादी करती है तो वो भी हमारी बेटी जैसी होगी. तो I almost started crying. I was like, ये ऐसा कौन बोलता है? So my family throughout have been very, very supporting. It was easy for me to come out as queer. You know, it was easy for my friends to be like, oh, hey, cool, like we accept you, we accept your identity, amazing. But then it was more difficult for me to come out as Dalit because there is years and years of oppression and years of trauma that we have endured as Dalit people. But in North India, we are taught to lie about our caste. So when you're lying about one identity of yours already, and then you're like also questioning your queer identity, and then also coming out as double minority, it's very difficult. So I always like, whenever my friends ask me also, I tell them that when I have to enter queer spaces, I have to leave my caste identity on the brink. If I have to enter Dalit spaces and do my Dalit activism, I have to leave my queer identity on the brink. So it just becomes extremely difficult to navigate this. If you understand something, if you first understand something, only then you can build empathy towards it. जिसको आप समझोगे नहीं उसको आप वही लगेगा कि तो एलियन है. Why do I accept this person? Why do I accept their identity? नहीं करूंगा मैं. वही है कि then, but if you know and you understand their struggles, then you slowly and gradually as a human will start building empathy and being like, okay, ठीक है, you know, this is okay, I accept who you are. प्यार किया कोई चोरी नहीं की, छुप छुप के आहें भरना क्या, जब प्यार किया तो डरना क्या, जब प्यार किया तो डरना क्या.
I identified, I think, pretty much at a very early stage in life. It was funny because I was in an all-boys Catholic school, St. Columbus, and we did drag when we didn't even know what the word drag meant at a very early age. And so I was doing a lot of plays all throughout, and I always gravitated towards playing the female roles. Not that I'm stereotyping that every gay man plays a female role or stereotyping any of that. This is just my personal journey. And so I think I knew I was queer at a very, very young age. So I'm legally married in France because my husband's French and it's legal in France. And would Cyril and I like our marriage to be registered and legalized in India? Of course, because this is where we live. We live here. So we work here, our team's here, our house is here. So of course we would want that same to go beyond just the realms of the ecosystem that we built through the Lalit or through the Keshasuri Foundation or through Kirisu. Yes, we would really work and want that to happen, not just for us, but for generations to come. I met him here at the hotel at 24/7 Bar at the Lalit, New Delhi. Pretty much it was love at first sight. So that's the person I knew I wanted to be with then. I know it sounds cheesy and corny and pageantry, but that's pretty much how we met, and it was just basically instantaneous. I'm proud and I have pride, and I think it's a mix of both. Well, I mean, I think marriage is a roller coaster, but it's going fine. I think that I really would make a joke on it. I hope that they do marriage equality so that we can also have divorce equality. And then we can have, equal rights in divorce. for people to make up their mind on whether they want to be accepting or not, I would highly request them to go and see the arguments. They are all available on YouTube. They are all available for the entire country and the world to see. See the arguments, hear them. Tell me what you feel after that. Do you feel a sort of empathy that you feel is required for the community that has just been decriminalized after so many years? However, after that told that you should live on fresh air and water, right? Or do you feel that our community needs to really truly be equalized? I think it will be misinformation if we don't teach our kids to love a person. And I think more is more. We need a lot more awareness. I don't think it's enough.
The rainbow flag was first used in 1978. It was designed the same very year. Harvey Milk was the first gay elected figure in the United States. He had commissioned artist and designer Gilbert Baker to create the pride flag. They decided on a rainbow design. The rainbow symbolizes today the unity of the LGBTQ plus people of various races, religions, ages, genders, and backgrounds. Every color in the pride flag has a meaning. Red for life, orange for healing, yellow for sunlight, green for nature, blue for serenity, purple for spirit, black and brown for people of color. With that, it's a wrap in this show. Like I said, take pride, let go of the prejudice.